What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here, the humble wise one. Today I want to do this video called Knowledge with Solace. Now, it's going to be just like my book, Knowledge with Solace. So if you got the book, then you already know. It's basically a bunch of different information. So this is why I call this video Knowledge with Solace, because it's not on one topic. Now, in this video, I want to discuss the secrets that lie within the pyramids. That's a pretty deep one, so I'm going to discuss that. I also want to break down the mirror effect, basically breaking down what's going on when you look up above. I also want to do a piece called Adam and Eve were fallen angels. So I'm going to discuss that also. And then I want to discuss something about leather. Very deep. So first, let's get into the pyramids, because it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. Now, I did a piece on the pyramids before. This has nothing to do with that. Also, in my book, I did a piece on the pyramids. So I want y'all to understand, this has nothing to do with that. The pyramid works as more than one thing, just like everything. Everything works as more than just one thing. But I want to go ahead and break down the secret in the pyramids. Because the pyramids is, it has a vibrational lock system. So the pyramids are, it's a lock system. It's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. And words are the key. So I want to show y'all this picture in my book. Now, if you can, in the book I'm discussing, I'm breaking down something else. The design of the pyramid, which a lock and key, the creation of a lock and key lies within a vagina and a penis. So don't get yourself lost, but don't pay the vagina any mind at this point. I want you to just look at the picture of the pyramid and notice how it has the keyhole. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. The pyramid has a lock and key design, but the key isn't a key, an object. The key is words. It works off vibration. So you have certain places within the pyramids where it ends in a wall. So you have many different rooms within the pyramid. Some of them end with walls. And words are the keys to making the walls open up so that you can keep going through the path. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. See, it's not necessarily the word, but it's the tone and vibration in the word that will trigger the lock system within the pyramids. This is why when people are in the pyramids and they speak, you hear echoes in tones and moans and vibrations. You can hear this in the pyramids. And that's the reason why, because it's sound sensitive. So it's looking to pick up the vibrational tone within the words that are being said, because that's how the pyramids work. And it's a deep thing people have to grasp. We have lock systems now with the remote control. So get an understanding. Words that's easier than remote control, because the remote control isn't saying anything. It's moving off light. So it's light censored, meaning the sensors in the light, it's what's triggering whatever you're controlling with the remote. So this is how that system works in a lock and key sense. The key to making the TV turn channels is through the remotes. LED light system. I forgot the technical name for it. But it basically works off lights. So don't get lost and think like, oh my God, it's impossible to have a lock, unlock off words. Just look at it as like how we got smart TVs. Smart locks. You say something and it unlocks. So it's a simple thing you have to grasp. The people of them times, they were way far ahead in technology than we are today. So you have to grasp. But they weren't so far where you're in sci-fi. I don't mean that. They were just a little more craftier with the technology. See, it's all the same technology. It's all the same knowledge. But it's a matter of what you use it for. So we use the knowledge to live how we live. They use it to live how they live. But it's the same knowledge. So we use the knowledge to make remote controls and different things. They used it to make vibrational lock systems and, sound sensitive. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. But the pyramids is basically a big ass lock. And it's hiding something. It's hiding a bunch of things. And it's a very deep thing people have to grasp. But if you, in the pyramids, and if you say certain words, the vibrational tones within them words will trigger the lock. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. Now I want to go into this mirror effect video because it's a deep thing you have to grasp. When y'all look up above in the daytime and you see the beautiful blue sky, if you're next to a large body of water, the sky will look exactly like the large body of water. And if you happen to be around a large body of water at nighttime, the sky looks exactly like the large body of water. And you have to grasp, it's almost like a mirror effect or a window effect. See, when you look up, I know y'all believe that what y'all are seeing is stars, which would be suns, but they're far, far away. So that's why they're small little lights. But that's not true. See, when you look up above, what you're seeing is here. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. When you see those little stars in the sky, all you're seeing is the little lights from down here twinkling. See, it's a deep thing you have to grasp. The earth is 70% water, so it's mostly water. So when you're up above, it's gonna reflect down, or the mirror image will look like mostly water. This is why, because I know some people are thinking, well, when I look up above, why I don't see buildings and stuff? The sky is far up, but you can say there's a window or a mirror in a sense. It's really yoke, but y'all won't grasp. So let's just say there's a window far, far up in sky. A mirror sort of window. So when you look through the window at nighttime and you can see your reflection and you see everything behind you, you can't see out the window because it's dark and you have the light on inside. So you just see kind of yourself in a reflection of everything that's behind you or behind the window. So this is how it is when you look up. When you look up, you're basically seeing down here. It's a deep, beautiful, funny secret of life. I don't think y'all are grasp, but try. We have little lights and things down here. Fires, things like that. When you look up above, you're just seeing the reflection of the large body of water that Earth mainly is, and the little lights here and there that are down here. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. When you're looking up above, you can kind of say you're looking in the mirror. Now, that's not to say there aren't stars or suns up above, let's say. But that's not what you're seeing. You're seeing what's down here. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. When you look up, in a sense, what you're doing is looking within. You're looking down below. Because up above, as above, so below is basically out and in. So below is really in. It's not really a below, but more or less a within yourself is what you see when you look up above. So when you look up above, You're seeing yourself. You're seeing what the inside of an individual looks like. So it's a beautiful, deep thing. It's the yoke effect. But I don't think y'all are going to understand that. See, right now it probably sounds a little contradicting because I said when you look up, you see the reflection of down here. And now I'm breaking down to you how when you look up, you're getting the reflection of the innards of what's within you. But you have to understand, we are within a being. So it's like y'all don't grasp what was said prior. So when I say when you look up, what you're seeing is the insides of it, what you look like as an individual. It's contradicting to me saying when you look up, you see here. But here is that. So it's so difficult explaining the life. Y'all have to see it. I wish y'all could just see as I do, because I see these things. It's a beautiful thing to have sight, but just try to stay with me. When you look up above, all you're doing is seeing down here, but from far away. So you figure if you were all the way up in the sky, what you would see when looking down at Earth is sky. If you ever been up in a plane real high and you look down, I'm not talking about when the plane is taking off and the buildings look like little ants. I'm talking about when you're up there and you're just looking down. It looks just like when you're on the ground looking up. It's a deep fucking thing. Y'all have to grasp. Oh my God. The things y'all don't know. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this Adam and Eve were fallen angels. Because that story is a deep story and I don't think people will grasp. Now, with the Adam and Eve were fallen angels. Basically, all that story is a story explaining how darkness got its first piece of light, how it lured in its first piece of light. So if y'all remember how I was breaking down the knowledge of shadows, well, Adam, Eve, and the serpent is basically the story of how darkness lured in its first piece of light. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Now y'all have to understand, Lucifer was the light being. He was the first one to fall into darkness. But y'all have to grasp, prior to him, there was no darkness. He became the darkness. So y'all have to grasp how deep it is. It's like I tell y'all, worlds are bodies. So in Lucifer being cast away, he's an individual, which is a being, and at the same time, he's a world, because all bodies have life within them. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Lucifer, the light being, would have been the beginnings of darkness. He was the cause of it. He became the darkness. And those that were cast out with him, they weren't cast out with him, but they were cast out after him. Those that followed him were cast out after him. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp, because Adam and Eve was the first light beings that were lured into the darkness, which is what Satan became. Now, if y'all remember, as I said in the knowledge of shadows, darkness has no form. It's a deep thing. A shadow. A shadow has form because it's reflecting the darkness and the light. But darkness has no form. You can't see anybody in the darkness, so there is no form, shape in the darkness. Now, if a thing can't take form and shape and no one can see it, and no one can hear it, then it kind of doesn't exist. Yet it does. So this was Satan, or Lucifer. He was cast away and he became the darkness. Couldn't be seen, heard, cast away. Because darkness has no form, shape. Can't see it. You need light in order to see the shape within darkness. But this is before the physical. This is when you just had light beings, and then Satan became the darkness. So this is just the ethereal. I forgot how you pronounce that word. But this is just that period before physical. Now when Satan lured Eve in, and you know the Bible said she was a light being, they were perfect in their way, and then when she ate the apple and sinned, they were clothed in skins. They became physical. They were no longer light beings. They lost their light, and then they were cast out into earth. So you have to grasp, and the serpent was cast out with them, because the serpent got his punishment first, then Eve, then Adam, and then they were clothed in skins, and they were all cast out. So you have to grasp. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. But the serpent would have basically been Satan in the darkness. And Eve would have been a light being becoming curious on the dark knowledge, which would have been the bad things, or the things that become bad. And when darkness gets hold of some light, it traps it. And this is how the darkness takes form and shape. And then after that, Adam and Eve begin to multiply. And you got more darkness. And this is hell. And it's a deep, simple thing you have to grasp, because y'all keep thinking hell as a place, like jail. You have to grasp. Hell was before the physical. It was where the light being was cast. Wasn't physical. Satan wasn't physical. It is what you are within the body. So Satan was the light within the body, without the body. The brilliance, the beauty, the divineness of what the being is. This is what he was before he was cast into darkness. So you have to grasp. There was no earth. There was no heavens. And everything you see, there was no that. It was just darkness. Light had to be brought into the darkness so that things could take shape and form. This is why it was dark and void, and God said, "Let there be light." We got one. Boom. So it's a simple thing y'all have to grasp. Now, if y'all confused and y'all like, but Eve and Adam was after earth and everything was made. I thought they was the first ones lured into the darkness. If you go back and read the Bible, it never said Adam and Eve was on earth until they got kicked out of the garden. Go to chapter 2, verse 4 and read. It never says that they ever touched foot on earth. Actually, if you read closely, it takes you back before he put anything in earth or made heavens and earth. And it says a spring of water came out of earth. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. And with that spring of water, man was created and placed in Eden. But it never said Eden had anything to do with earth. Grasp. So y'all gotta learn how to read. They were cast out of Eden into earth. But that was the first time they ever seen earth. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. With the knowledge, it's easy to confuse yourself if you're not completely grasping every detail. But it's a simple thing you have to grasp. Lucifer was cast away and became the darkness. Darkness ain't physical, but that was hell. And everything that was created after that, meaning light, was lured in. That's a light being. Now you get a physical thing and physical things, and those physical things can create more things within that dark existence, filling up the darkness. Like how you got stars in the dark night sky, filling it up. If you remove all the buildings and everything out of earth, it's just dark. So grasp. Things make, so this is how that worked. So you don't need to look at hell and say, oh, it's a place. It starts with the conscious being. You're a conscious being. You have a body. That is the darkness that is the light within the darkness, and you have life within you. That life within you is in hell. You're within a living being also. That being is in hell. So it don't matter where y'all go. It's all hell in this existence. It started from the conscious before it even got physical. So y'all look, this is why hell is always explained as a many-placed or many-leveled type of thing. See, a lot of y'all look at hell as just a fiery lake, and this is because you don't read enough stuff. You don't even read through whatever you was reading, because that was just one description of hell, fiery lake. And that's just describing the body. See, your body is made of sulfur and a whole bunch of other flammable things. So you can pretty much say you're literally on fire within. So it's a simple, deep thing you have to grasp. The body is the hell. The body is within the reality. And the reality is hell. So you have to grasp. The whole existence we in is hell. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. But when it was explained in the fiery lake, it was basically talking about the body. You within the body also. It's fiery places here. There's fiery lakes here. But it also says hell was a burning, freezing place. And it's freezing in some places here too. So it's basically describing to you hell is unstable. You have different temperatures and different things going on. Mind you, we all know in light world, or with the light beings that don't deal with the darkness, which I'll call heaven, there is no temperature. Grasp that. It's never nighttime in heaven, and it's never cold, and it's never hot in heaven. Grasp. But it's many different motherfucking temperatures here. Pardon my language. But it's frustrating. Y'all have to grasp. I'm not making this up to be funny or nothing. It's deep shit. Y'all need to understand. All the text y'all read and anything y'all know or anything you heard of, shit is hell. So it's a simple thing y'all have to grasp. But it's the existence. And everything starts with the conscious. So you have to grasp that. Motherfuckers are here because of the thought process. But it's a deep thing. I got a video coming out real soon where I'm going to break down the things that you need to do to get out this hell. Because that's the most important thing. So it's a deep thing. But basically Adam and Eve were fallen angels. And they were the first two who fell into darkness after anybody. So you know how Satan was cast in the darkness, and those who followed him were cast in the darkness too? Well, Adam and Eve was first before anybody. Grasp that. Before any other fallen angels were cast in darkness, they were first. Eve was the first light being that the darkness lured in. The darkness was Lucifer. He became the darkness, the Satan. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. I hope that made sense. At least the one good, lovely spirit out there with a conscience that understands things. I wish I was in front of me so y'all could ask questions in front of me. It's easier to answer them than typing frustrates me. Then I just curse you the fuck out. But it's not your fault. That's just how this is hell. So I'm just a fucked up motherfucker. But I'm smart. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. It's hell. Things is bad here. I'm bad. Because this is hell. But I'm not bad. But I'm doing my do good now. So y'all have to grasp. I'm not going to always be here talking to y'all. Explaining shit. Because there's things that need to be done for a man to free his light. Things y'all are just not seeming to grasp now. But at some point in time, I'm going to have to rebuke seeing, hearing, speaking, food, clothing. I'm going to have to rebuke all physical things. Therefore, I can go where I need to go. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp, but I don't know if y'all are going to grasp. But physical things must be given up so that the spirit can be freed from the darkness that we live. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. This is truly deeply hell. No exaggeration, this is all literal what I'm saying. This is literally hell, and you're trapped in darkness, and it's your body. And the life is within the life. Bodies within bodies. So the world you're in is the innards of a body that is in hell. And it doesn't matter how far you go up, all the way to the universe. The universe is a body, and that shit is in hell too. So you figure the universe is probably Satan. And the life is all within the life. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. But it's certain steps that you have to take to be released. Because it's an ascending up thing. Meaning sperm cells ascend up to be people. They were micro cells within a person's body. They ascended up to be people. People will ascend up to be stars. Stars will ascend up to be galaxies. Galaxies will ascend up to be universes. But they're all in hell. Because it's all the same existence. The physical. Lights within darkness. So this is why everything you see is lights within darkness. And that's why it has a shadow. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. But steps must be taken. So at some point, before my time, before the darkness takes me, what y'all call death, before that comes for me, I must do what I need to do, meaning, what I just named. Those things I named. The eating, seeing, speaking. Those things must be done before the darkness comes. In totality, in spirit, in fully understanding. But the only way you can do a thing is in understanding. So a lot of people think that they work on trying to change themselves. You don't need to try to change yourself. That's fake. The knowledge will change you. So the more knowledge and the better you begin to understand things, that will change you. So you don't need to try anything. Just get knowledge and understanding. And that will change the way you move and see things. The way you see things is why you move how you move. And that goal boils down to the amount of understanding you have on the life you live. So it's all a simple thing. But the more knowledge I acquired, and the more I begin to understand, I just begin to change on my own. So it was nothing I had to do. You just change on your own and you start to fully understand. And I know I have to do what I have to do. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp. That's not my time yet. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, if you know, why you here? Why you don't just go? Because it's not my time to go yet. I got shit to do. But everybody got to do what they got to do. But what I'm doing is on that same path. I just have things I have to do. So it's a simple, deep thing. Everybody has their duty. I'm doing my duty. All you need to do is just make sure you free yourself from hell. Because if you free yourself from hell, then I get an A. So it all works together. So it's a beautiful motherfucking thing. Y'all have to grasp. You can call me the devil. And if I could get y'all out of here, I could get out of here. Because you lost motherfuckers is stuck in me. But I'm not the devil, so don't worry about that. But everybody here is hell, so don't get lost and get to start to thinking you cute. Like, I'm God. I knew he would. Nigga, shut up. You stupid. This is hell. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Now, I want to quickly discuss leather. I forgot something I wanted to explain before I jumped into leather. Dealing with Lucifer and me doing what I need to do before I go. It was very important. Well, I forgot. But let's get into this leather because this video is running way longer than I want. Now, with the leather, it's a deep thing. You have to understand, you have many different kinds of leather. Reindeer leather, kangaroo leather. All leather we have comes from animals' hides, which is the skin. So a lot of people don't seem to know this, but all leather, whether it's a belt, a shoe, whatever. It comes from an animal's hide, dead animal skins. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp because they have human leather also. But the deep thing is they never put what kind of leather it is on the product. So Uggs don't put, oh, this is kangaroo hide. They don't do all that. They just say leather and suede or whatever it wants, which is one and the same. But you get my drift. It don't tell you exactly what leather it is. Because once the animal's hide or the human hide, basically once the skins is made into leather, then it's just leather. So they don't need to go into details. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. But be careful, because a lot of y'all got human leather items and you don't even know it. It's a deep thing. It's like people who get mad at furs. And they see people with furs and they throw paint on their furs and they with the animal rights and they like, man, how could you wear fur coats knowing that they're killing animals? Stupid assholes. This is what happens when you have limited knowledge. You get mad when you see a nigga with a goddamn fur coat on, but you don't feel no kind of way when you see a nigga with a leather jacket on or leather shoes on. You don't feel any kind of way about that. But that's because they don't have a full amount of knowledge. They just want to be angry. So you say, I love animals. But you forget about all the other animals that people wearing. See, a nigga will throw paint on a nigga that got on a fur. And he'll have on Timberland boots made from animal's hide. It's a deep thing. All shoes is made from... Man, this shit deep. Y'all need to understand, everything y'all wear come from life. Cotton. That's a plant. If it got a root, that's the placenta. And that's life. So you have to grasp. We tend to put different lives over whatever we want. People who wear chinchillas and love furs. Well, the animal rights people hate you to death. But the animal rights people, they don't feel no way about the reindeer leather and all that type. They don't care about that. They don't care about the cotton plants that's being picked and killed to make cotton. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. But all life is used for all things that we do. And the quicker people get a efficient amount of knowledge on things, people start making sense in decisions and the things that they do in life. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Y'all are angry spirits, and it's because it's hell. And people are looking for things to be upset about. Anyway, it's your main man, Solace. I'm about to get me something to eat. Good evening.